Welcome to Advanced Culinary Arts. This is the open house for the 2020-2021 school year. And I'm really excited to have your student in class this year. To get started, I'm going to share my screen. I want to start off by showing our Canvas page. I have it laid out pretty easy. If you go to Canvas, you'll see our home page. And I keep the daily agenda for every class right here. So if a student is ever absent, they find the day they were absent and they click on the daily agenda, and it has the learning target for that day, and it has all the activities that we have done. And then any homework that there might be or work they didn't complete is listed right here. So this is a really good resource for them to use. They should be using Canvas every day, but that's what they would do if they miss a class period. Just find it right here. Okay. So I'm going to start with our learning target. This is our daily agenda slide, even though I only have 10 minutes with you guys. This is the same slide that students will see on our daily agenda. You'll see the learning target right here in blue. That's what the student should be able to accomplish by the end of class. I am learning about, so for you guys, I'm learning about my students' advanced culinary arts class and teacher. And that's what our target is for today. And then our agenda is right here. So a little bit about myself. I'm a Hinsdale South alumna. So I grew up not too far down the road in Darien. And then I went to Illinois State University, where I got my bachelor's degree in family and consumer science, secondary education. I currently am a graduate student now at Ball State University, which is in Muncie, Indiana. So it's an online program. And I'm working towards my master's in career and technical education. Hopefully anticipated graduation is summer 2021. This is my 4th year teaching at LTHS. Other courses I teach, in addition to advanced culinary, I teach regular culinary, our intro level course, international foods, and chefs as well. So I'm really passionate about foods and cooking and teaching children, teaching students how to cook as well. Okay, so getting to know the advanced culinary teacher. So I am the advanced culinary teacher at North Campus, and Mrs. Mitchell is the advanced culinary teacher at South Campus. Now we communicate regularly to make sure students are getting the same exact experience. We're doing the same things each day. But the reason why I wanted to kind of introduce you briefly to Mrs. Mitchell is because throughout the semester, your student may see demo videos from her. Me and Mrs. Mitchell, we kind of break up things. Some of us will demo something, some might demo another. But throughout the semester, you might see videos of her that I'm showing students. So I did show students this as well. Just, hey, that's who it is. That's our other advanced culinary teacher. I did want to mention this. This is a template provided by LTHS, and it's a really great way for your student to stay organized. This can be found online on the LT website, and you can either print it or you can type into it. I found students that are using this are feeling a little bit less unorganized. They're able to turn in their work a little bit more, do a better job of turning in their work on time. But this is an option for your student if they are struggling to stay organized. My suggestion would be to download this, and then you can easily type in the assignments that you needed complete for that class period. So that is a really great option. So ultimately, the basic understandings from advanced, okay, students would understand that safety and sanitation dictate practices that must be utilized in all settings. Students understand that knowledge and use of equipment facilitate successful product outcomes. Students understand that there are skills necessary for career readiness. So in advanced culinary, we focus more on the career readiness aspect, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then lastly, students understand that ingredients, cooking techniques, time, and temperature contribute to the unique characteristics of the finished food product. So those are the basic understandings of this course, kind of the fundamental outcomes. So kind of major products, okay, major projects, performance. We have formative and summative assessments. So our formative assessments aren't graded. They'll still be on the grade book, but they don't count towards their final grade. It's practice. It's used as a means to inform the student. And then those then lead to summative. So summative would be like your test, kind of a final assessment. They've had multiple formative assessments prior. They've gotten feedback, kind of used to inform where they're at, and then they take the summative assessment. Now, there's a variety of assessments. Okay? These all kind of vary from lab experience, daily work, electronic portfolio blog, which I'll talk about in a minute. There's a variety of activities that we do for formative and summative assignments or assessments. So what is upcoming? We are really in our unit 1 is keeping food safe. Now we will be providing students with curriculum and coursework to take their food handler certification. Now this is through ServSafe. It's a nationally recognized certificate. It's through the National Restaurant Association. So our first unit in keeping food safe prepares them for the food handler test. So that's our curriculum. And then in a few weeks, we will actually be going onto a website through ServSafe. They're going to create an account and they have to take a test. And if they pass it, they will then have their certification for a food handler. Now, a lot of restaurants require this certification. Some students may already have it. But what's really great about having the certification is if their student does go to look for a job in the food industry, having this food handler would make them more likely to get a job because restaurants do look for that. It basically just states that, oh, I know how to handle food. I know the fundamentals of safety, sanitation, and food handling. So that's the first certificate they will get within a few weeks here, and it's really exciting. So our first unit is keeping food safe. Then we move to egg white foams, how to think like a chef, which kind of consists of plating, garnishing, mass production of food, like quantity, translating recipes, things like that, advanced knife skills, classic sauces, and fresh pasta. To summarize this, basically during remote learning, we are presenting concepts during Zoom. It's harder, it's a little bit more of a challenge to teach a culinary class online. We do really rely on that hands-on experience. Being able to demonstrate skills is really how we are assessed. But we will try to keep it as engaging as possible. We use tools such as Pear Deck, quizzes, Edpuzzle. These are activities that are made to kind of reinforce the topics, keep the students engaged, ask higher level thinking, ask some questions to really just help them retain the information. We talk about giving peer feedback. That's something really important in our class. I'm all about trying, and if you fail, you fail. And then we talk it through. Well, why did your egg white foam not turn out? Well, why did this happen? And so I do like to provide opportunities for peer feedback because it helps students to deepen their understanding. And of course, feedback from me as well. Everything we do is on Canvas. All the PowerPoints, assignments, documents, anything they need for this course is on Canvas. So there's never going to be an issue of not having something. It's all going to be linked on Canvas. And then earlier, if you recall, I talked about formative versus summative. This is our summative assessment breakdown. This is what counts towards the final grade. So almost every unit, some units will have 2 summative assessments, and there'll be 1 to 2 summative assessments a unit. And this is a breakdown of what those are. So I talked about the ServSafe food handler certification, them passing the test. Okay, the score they get on that test would be their summative, because that's our curriculum for that unit. And then I talked about the electronic portfolio blog. So students will have a blog in here. They create a blog, and typically in a normal school year, their assessments are posting on their blog. And it would be a variety of activities such as a video of them demonstrating a certain technique, pictures of them, like for advanced knife skills, pictures of their work, things like that. Because culinary, our big focus is skill-based assessments. So they do a variety of activities, hands-on, a skill, and they post it to their blog, and that's your summative assessment. So that's how we're still keeping the summatives. They are going to be blog posts. They might look a little bit different now. Some of our labs that have a lot of ingredients, we'll work individually with students to kind of figure this out on an individual basis. If the student's not able to perform a lab at home, I understand, and we can talk through that. But this is ultimately the summatives that we have. And again, they get posted on the blog, and that's what I use to grade them. That's their assessment. But there's really no multiple choice true false test. It's just all in these assessments right here. So we already did create a blog. They made their first post introducing themselves, their goals for the course, what they want to really learn and focus on. And then the formative assessments will vary between each unit. So it could be a different variety of things. And then lastly, I kind of want to end with classroom culture. We talked about the first week of school. What makes students feel valued and respected and engaged in our class? So being remote has its challenges, but what etiquette is needed, so to say, to have a respectful student body, a class that is engaged and present every day. So we actually came up with this list, or the students came up with this list as a class. So I kind of let them go into discussions into small groups, and we talked about this. And this is the list our students came up with on what is needed, kind of our classroom culture, in order for all students to feel valued, respected. So I'm not necessarily going to read all of these to you. You can read them on your own. But I did want to put this on there, so it's created by our students, and it's so important that if our students do follow these guidelines, we can have hopefully a really great semester. And then the one I do want to point out is the keep video on. It is so important that your student is on video for our entire class period for several reasons. A, if they're not on video, it's just a blank screen. It doesn't really make our students feel like they're being listened to or being acknowledged. I do like to do a lot of small group brainstorm. Like I present a topic, okay, get in a small group, digest, brainstorm, discuss what we just talked about. And it's hard. Like in another one of my classes, I went into a small group and there was one person on video and 4 others, it was a blank screen. And so I can't imagine how that student feels that is on video talking to all blank screens. So we do want everyone to feel acknowledged and present and that they're being listened to. And if our video is not on, it's hard to kind of do that. Also too, it's a lot easier for me to teach if I can see your student. I can see their facial expressions. I can kind of pick up on that. Do they look confused? Oh, does our whole class not really look like they're understanding this? Then I can go deeper into that topic. Is your student falling asleep? That's something in class, if they were falling asleep, I could easily nudge them and wake them up and get them on task. But if they're not on video, I have no way of knowing if they're even here or if they're just, in a different room. So I can help that if I see that they're dozing off. I can, tailor to that and help them, give them a task to get back on topic. But it is really important that they are on video each day so that we can have the best experience possible in this class. This is just a screenshot. It's blurred. This is from another teacher, but that's your full class basically on video. And then you can see down here, there's 3 students that are just a blank screen. We don't want that. We don't want them to be a black screen. We want to see all of their beautiful faces. So please have your child go on video. And LT does provide camera-equipped devices if their camera breaks or is not functioning. And then lastly, just please help me encourage your student to use Canvas all the time. If they are absent, they can email me, of course, but they can go on Canvas and find everything. If they didn't have time to finish a Canvas quiz, they can go on Canvas and access it. So really just check Canvas. Everything is there that they need. I also don't think it's a bad idea for them to get a phone buddy from class. So somebody that they maybe know a little bit, exchange their number. So that way if they're ever absent or they're ever confused about an assignment, they can text their phone buddy, hey, I had a question about this. What's the answer? They can, of course, email me, but sometimes if it's late at night, students email me at 10 o'clock at night, and for an assignment that's due at midnight, I'm not going to respond by the time it's due. So I always kind of suggest get a phone buddy, exchange numbers with someone in class. And then lastly, seek help when needed. So I am all about asking questions. If you're not sure of something, email me, ask me, send me a chat. Stay after our Zoom and ask me. Especially like on the grade book, if you're not sure why you got a certain grade, feedback's always in Canvas, but don't be afraid to ask me. Every once in a while, maybe I will put something wrong into the grade book. Doesn't happen a lot, but it could. Okay, so if that's the case and you're not sure, you think there's an error, contact me. Please don't be afraid to do that. We can square it away and make sure everything is as it's supposed to be. And then lastly, there's 2 other course offerings at LT that they could take in addition to advanced culinary. They could take international foods and they could take chefs as well. So international explores like culture, ingredients, recipes of different regions around the world. And then chefs is our catering class. So our school hosts events throughout the year, and our chef students actually plan the menu for these events, and they mass produce food, and they actually would be field tripped out for the day, and they would serve food. It's catering, hospitality, and they serve food at these events. So that's a really cool opportunity as well. And that's all I have for you guys. I'm excited to work with your student in advanced culinary. I'm excited that they chose to continue on from intro to culinary. I'm excited for them to develop their skills. And really looking forward to a great semester.